My name is Cihan. Last name is Ozdemir. We're a family-based company in Indiana, USA. We design, manufacture, deliver, and install retractable aluminum structures that go over indoor-outdoor spaces. So swimming pools, rooftops on restaurants. One day we'll do some stadiums. We have vision, right? We're a small company, but we appear as though we are larger than we are, with the types of deliverables that we're able to produce, and the time we're able to do it, and the efficiency and the manner we do it. I have a background in engineering. We've been doing this since 1985 and brought on Integrated almost 6 years ago, and have been wildly successful since COVID, honestly. After COVID, has a little bump in the road for most people, but it's been very successful ever since. This past spring is going on 6 years, and a lot of the working relationship has been pretty collaborative. And so, the 6 years when it started, I'm pretty sure I knew that it was going to be a long-term relationship there. A lot of what we were trying to do was obviously improve our efficiencies within our manufacturing. And so we were doing a lot of things in-house. And if you're not the master of your trade, you're trying your best to get it done and out to the floor. But, manual errors is what, human errors is inevitable. We tried to find a way to minimize that as much as possible while getting someone who's an expert in that field to help us basically become scalable, right? So as we continue to grow, we couldn't continue at the same way we were doing things, and Integrated has absolutely put us in another, I don't want to say atmosphere, but certainly a different space to where we can comfortably scale with confidence out on the floor. Probably a few years prior, we tried using SolidWorks as a way of designing and developing our products, but because of the way SolidWorks works, we have several parts within our system that it just didn't fit, our needs, and it was very cumbersome on the software, and the organization of it just didn't fit. So, once we got into Integrated and interviewing, yourself, Hassan, and understanding, the advantages of adapting BIM to manufacturing, the idea sounded great, as they always do in a marketing kind of a pitch, but certainly came through, and I mean, it's really done probably more than I expected. Honestly, the time is the biggest thing, right? So I can, with competence isn't even a strong enough word, I can give a project directly to Integrated BIM and not have to worry about the results coming back to me having any errors or missing anything, because of, there's certainly a setup that goes along with it, but that collaboration, the interest in knowing every step and phase of the manufacturing process has essentially just created results that, within a week, we get full-on bill of materials sheets that allow my production supervisors to hand off, tasks to several different people out on the floor, and they know exactly what they need to do, quantities, cut lengths, angles, without any guesswork. And if you had have asked me to do something like that within our offices, we would have never gotten here. At least that's my strong belief, that Integrated has certainly put us in a space where confidence is key. You give a sheet set to the production floor, and if they're taking that in with confidence, the questions that come back to the office all of a sudden disappear, and your time in the office is now free to do other things, right? Your other tasks that you've always wanted to do on your whiteboard. So yeah, prior to that, any of our projects, they go through like 3 phases, right? So an initial concept phase is our customers begin speaking or working with us. Integrated BIM using Revit or the other tools, within BIM, produces a set of architectural plans and renderings that essentially become a sales tool to the customer. And when that customer decides to move forward, the work that was done in the renderings has already put us a couple of steps forward in producing the structural drawings that we use for engineering. The engineering plans then go to our structural engineers for evaluation. That allows them to get permits. And then again, we go and utilize that same filing system or that same work that was done in those first two phases to finally develop all those fab drawings, all the shop drawings. And that, again, saves so much time, whereas our processes before was SketchUp or, just different tools that if the customer moved forward, that work that was done stops there. You have to restart with the other tools, whether it was AutoCAD 2D or whatever. So it's one builds on the other and builds on the other, and that also eliminates errors, right? Because you're using the same tools or the same developed designs that the customer had approved initially. It's great. When I look to do, this type of, we'll just call it interviewing, right? Where you're looking for services. I look for the person first, right? So someone I can work with, someone that's easy, that will listen, and vice versa, and understand that, listening is a big key component to helping each other. Because at some point you realize everyone has the skill set, essentially, but also to be able to listen, build upon it, wanting to learn more, and dedicated, right? So not everyone should be available 24/7, and I certainly wouldn't ask that, but Integrated ended up being that way. And I don't believe it's anything other than the partnership that we've managed to create over the years, right? And so there's a synergy within that partnership that essentially I don't look at us as individual separate companies or different services. It's almost like we're one. So anytime we need a emergency, which doesn't happen often, but if you call on it, it's awesome to see Integrated come and say, okay, what do you guys need? We're going to bring, all hands on deck. And it's great. And I feel like that's part of that selection process that I used that, brought in the right people. And then everything else kind of built off of that. The same way any other team would compare to a singular person, right? You can't be the master of all trades, right? So you're going to have within the BIM team members strong in different aspects within the overall design. And within the team, because I've gotten to know, Integrated's team, everyone is learning off of each other. And so when you surround yourself with like-minded individuals, all of a sudden the individuals within the team become stronger as a team. And I can now comfortably, we have, I think, 3 people that we work hand in hand on any project. And if you didn't tell me who produced the set of plans, it could be a different person each time, and I'm getting that same result because they are all in the same wavelength and recognize, what we're looking for. But as a team, they learned what DynaDome wants and needs, and as a team, they deliver that. So, but as a team, you're 3 strong rather than one person. So you're able to tackle multiple tasks and get the same results from no matter who it is. The most significant is efficiency and the confidence in the deliverable to the shop floor. So that also speaks to efficiency because then the shop floor has less questions. And again, I don't think I can stress enough, the confidence in the deliverable to the shop allows them to automatically pick your parts off the shelf and know that whatever you're cutting and the quantities given are the right quantities. They're not, one-to-one, project to project. It might be right, I don't know. And so that efficiency buys you so much time. And not to say it was a struggle, but you were pushing the deadlines all the time. Now we can produce 25 to 30 projects and still not be feeling like we're at max capacity. So, I mean, I think that's a huge turnaround in our ability to like increase our sales and ability to produce more because there's no bottleneck anymore at that stage of design and development and fabrication. We've been doing it for so long now, it's hard to pinpoint when it started. I think initially the first year or so was a lot of learning. It was a lot of, I think, with anything new, right? You're taking a couple steps forward, maybe one step back to learn, okay, this process or families or just the development on your back end may not have been working for your team as a deliverable to us. But I mean, we quickly learn. Again, that's where it comes with the whole listening and communicating and feedback. So after that first year and into that second year, I think we started to get more efficient. And then so it was that kind of slow start where you have anything new, you slowly, and then all of a sudden that graph jumps, right? And now it's like, okay, we've gotten better. And that's the whole thing with integrated. We're never satisfied. You're never satisfied, which makes us also the same. It's contagious, right? So constantly improving. Okay, we've done this good this week. We've done it within a couple days. How can we do it in a couple less days or a couple less hours? And that's great. Again, like I said, it's more like we're on the same team rather than contractor and individual company or vendor. So I mean, it's a kind of a long-winded answer to that, but it all kind of ties in, I feel. I think, like initially I said, make sure you find someone you can work well with, with anything. So it's not just BIM related. But to speak about BIM, is the planning on it, right? And certainly some patience, depending on how complicated your manufacturing might be. BIM or Revit, there's no one solution out of the box, right? So it takes some time to learn your processes, your workflows, and then to translate that into a system that's produces confident results over and over again. It takes just a little bit of time and investment, right? So you're going to spend a little upfront, but with the right vision, you're going to make it on the back end. And the ability then to say, now I can take on more sales and more work and more projects gives you a certain level of confidence that, we definitely made the right decision on our side. As far as engaging in this relationship and this decision to go outside of the company and introduce someone that's truly a master at this, but also a master at wanting to learn your stuff, your workflows and processes, and help you actually even develop new ones. It's a true partner. So start with the person, recognize there's some patience in development. Don't jump into projects first, for sure.